Hey Leo, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. So over here on YouTube, we're doing love readings. This is about sort of your summer and how love might play out over the summer. Over on Vimeo, I did a more traditional tarot spread for you. And it's kind of about a financially irresponsible, messy person that's on your last nerve, and how you're dealing with that. So, all right, but over here, one last shuffle. Surely thoroughly shuffled all these, but one last shuffle. All right, for your summer lovin', what do we got here? Bird's eye view, their position, your position, possible action, results of that action, and how you might grow from this. Oh, okay, Leo. All right, we got a mixed match of up and down. All right, bird's eye view. Assistance is necessary here. We have a leg up. So we have someone giving some assistance. There might be, I mean, there is like a sense of needing some help here. Somebody needs some help. So the dynamic is going to be not one of, I mean, it is one of equals coming together, obviously, right? But because we're all equals. But there is a sense of, at this moment, someone needs more help than somebody else. Someone is in a position to help somebody, and someone is in a position where they kind of need some help, kind of need some assistance here. It's a moment. It's not, hopefully, it's not a lifestyle. It's not the whole relationship is like going to be like this, where someone's always the giver and someone's always the receiver, right? We don't need those kinds of relationships. But for this moment, I'm seeing the signs here that this is a moment. For this moment, somebody needs help, and somebody has that help to give. So their position, the other position, it's reverse new life. It's kind of the same old, same old. Maybe they always need help in this way. Maybe they always have moments like this. This isn't new to you. Nothing here is news to them. This is sort of, and it's not necessarily like they always need help. This could be like, maybe stuck parts of their old life coming through here. It's not like they like changed everything up and moved to a new city. Like they're where they're at. They're doing their thing. But it's not like they've like created a whole new life for themselves and they need like, help making first, last, and a deposit somewhere. It's like they're where they're at. And then their situation isn't like, it's not new to them. Wherever they're at is a little bit familiar to them. They may need like emotional support, financial support. I don't know what kind of support this person needs, but this isn't their first rodeo, and they're not like waking up to a new dawn, a new day. They may actually like experience some depression sometimes. I mean, we all do. It's life on earth. So they're not ready for a whole new start here. They need help kind of limping along. Yeah, like they've been on, if they need crutches, they've been on crutches for a little while. And I don't mean to diss them. I'm not saying that that's bad. Like we all need help from our friends. We all get by with a little help from our friends here. So, but this is a way in which it's not like suddenly they need help in a way they've never needed help before. They need help in a way that they occasionally do need help. And your position, this isn't raising any problems for you. You're not like, oh, should I stay or should I go? There's no fork in the road. You actually don't have a decision to make here. This might be someone needing help, and it's not, you don't have any, you're going to do what you always do. You're going to stay on the path. Your position is that you don't really feel like you have a choice, but I don't mean to say that. When I say that, that feels wrong, because it's not the I just don't have a choice, hands tied helplessness of maybe like our Eight of Swords lady that's, stuck, but not stuck, right? It's not like I don't have a choice. It's like this creates no problem for you. this person needing help, or this dynamic in which so both of it's this dynamic in which one person is needing some help here, and possibly the other person in the situation is going to be in a position to assist. This is not a new dynamic. It changes nothing for you. You're not like, oh, wow, if I have to keep doing this, I better leave. There's no like decision that you're making. This creates no crisis for you. It's not a problem for you, whether you're receiving help. You don't see another way to go even. And I don't even mean that like, again, when I say that doesn't feel right. Like you don't see another way to go. You're not trapped here. You're part of this dynamic and it works. There's not a decision to be made. It's just, it works. It doesn't create a crisis point. Someone needing help. Maybe it's you that needs help. This is not like, I should probably just go. I'm too much of a burden to them or anything. There's no decision really to be made, either because you're making the same decision you always make when this comes up, or because like you're not in a position to make the decision and the choice. And this other person's going to do what they always do, and you're going to do what you always do. Just like help each other out. It's kind of beautiful. And nobody's upset about it. That's what it looks like to me. No one's really upset about it, or like both of these positions could look like they're trapped in a dynamic of helper and helpee, but they're not, is what I feel. When I say that, anything that resembles that, I don't feel that either person feels trapped. I feel like it's very familiar territory. We're going to stay the course. We're staying on the road. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Honestly, it's kind of cool to see. It's kind of cool to see, even just in these cards, like mutually supportive environment in which both people are fine with the dynamic. Possible action, Treasure Island. I think, it's just valuing each other very highly. I mean, if there is a person, if there isn't a person, this new life in reverse could also be there's not anybody else here and you're just going to keep doing what you do. Treasure Island there's valuable. There's something very valuable. Yeah, maybe it's slow moving. It's deeply emotional. This turtle always looks like deeply emotional, slow moving energy. Nobody's in a hurry. We value what we have, and there's no hurry here. There's no rush anywhere. Just because you're not like rushing to the altar or rushing to move in together or rushing, and just because you're not rushing towards those cultural points and cultural levels to a relationship, doesn't mean there's no value here. I think you're valuing what you have. And either if you're the giver in the situation, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're giving or receiving in this situation. There's so much value here, and the value is outside of whatever help and assistance this person needs. Like, there's just a non-issue here with this needing help and valuing what you have. So realizing the value of what you have, understanding the value of what you have, and that it can go as slow and as fast as it wants to go. Sometimes with this leg up, I was thinking about apartments and stuff like that, and like, this other person wouldn't be moving. You'd be the one moving and needing assistance with that. But sometimes like, leases are up and then people are like, well, I guess we better just move in together. And that's not necessarily like, even if you don't move in together because someone's lease is up, which isn't a great reason to move in together. Like they're not experiencing any big life changes and you're not changing course either. There's a lot of value here. So anyway, it can go slow. You don't have to like move in together or whatever. It can just go slowly. And that's a possibility here. And so there's a sense of valuing what we have and letting it unfold at the pace that it unfolds at. It'll get there when it gets there. Slow and steady wins the race, and it's very valuable. That's your action. It's to slow and steady, keep that high value thing going. So results of that action, message in a bottle. You're going to remember something, or there's a message coming in here. Maybe there's a message that you'll get. Both of these are sort of lost at sea vibes, not lost at sea. This one's definitely lost. There's a sense of purposeful movement in your to-do list, in what your action. as purposeful, slow and steady movement. No sudden changes here whatsoever. There are no sudden changes. And then we have this message bobbing up from the depths, from the surface, a heartfelt message. This can be from your past. I see very much a bobbing sensation of like, whoop, it pops to the surface. There's a message here. You're valuing something, and then some sort of interesting information comes in. You're looking elsewhere, and the message is right underneath you. There's no need to look anywhere. The message what you need is right underneath you. The message is here. This is a kind of a cute little reading, honestly. Yeah, but it's something from the past comes back, and it's got something to say, or it's from a long ways away, either distant in time or place. These cards are so similar. There's peace. I mean, this message in a bottle, it doesn't emerge because there's a bunch of upheaval or anything. It's almost like the more peaceful something gets, the clearer the messages can get. And the more messages that can get through, the more communication that there is. But what's coming in here isn't at some big distance from you. It's not far away. It's right underneath you. And there's just a sense of bobbing along peacefully. I don't know. Do Leos bob along peacefully? And then how this might grow from you by the book. Things are just progressing in a very, step-by-step fashion. We're not going to allow, life changes to force our hand anywhere. There's a natural progression here. And there's just such a sense of slow and steady wins the race here. Slow and steady. And maybe a surprise message or two. Why not? Maybe a little surprise, something spontaneous coming in here. Right under your nose. But yeah, the slow and steady wins the race. That's all I'm getting here. Slow, steady progress. No rushing. Helping each other out. Valuing each other. And also, like, this new life here in reverse could also mean that you're not having a relationship, which would be the third non-relationship relationship in a row. So if you're not having a relationship, there's no one new here. Just still slow and steady wins the race. There's a lot of value here, valuing yourself, and slow progress towards that. I don't know what else to tell you here. Oh, wait, I'm going to do clarifiers. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's do clarifiers. All right. Who are they? Who are you? And then I'm opening up these decks and pulling a card from the center of them. What's an overview? What are the results? Ooh, we're going to pull 3 from this one. Action. And then how are you going to grow from this? That's right. Okay, I forgot I was going to do clarifiers. All right, a leg up, help and assistance. Oh, well, here we have what would be the fork in the road card in reverse right here. So the overview is, so there's a dream and a wish coming true here. It just needs a little help. And that's what we got here too. It needs a little help and assistance in taking those first steps. This bird is free to go. And is free now to do what it needs to do, but it needs a little enticement because, it sort of sees only the cage. But there's a lot of freedom here and a dream coming true, but it does need a little bit enticement. The liberty and freedom are here. So there's something about being free to help each other, or being free to, you're at liberty to assist each other. And just because you're assisting each other doesn't mean you're locked in. I think that this could, it does seem a little bit as a metaphor, like we don't have to move in together. We're free to help or not help. And there's just a moment here, but there is assistance in helping someone gain, you're free to help each other is what I'm seeing. It's not going to have like some kind of backlash or anything. There's a sense of enticing somebody to get the help that they need. So sweetening the deal. If you need to help someone, make sure you're doing it. I mean, this almost reminds me of like when you help, when you like have a really proud child, like a small child, and they don't want your help. And then you like kind of entice them into the help. So you can't be like super direct about the help. Let me help you, and be confrontational and in their face about the help. There's like a sort of okay, I had a kid that when they'd throw a temper tantrum, they didn't want me within 3 feet of them. And they didn't want me to say anything. It would just make everything worse. So I would sit very quietly 3 feet away from them. And then when they were done, they'd come crawl in my lap. So that's a little bit of the helping. Some part of this vibe of helping each other is like not being like, I fix it for you, but as in being like, I'm here if you need help, but I'm not going to intrude on your space, right? Because she's got the back turned and yet she's still intentionally helping. So she's not being like, watch me help you. She's just sort of like, I'm just going to help this bird find its freedom a little bit. And maybe you need some help finding how free you are too. And maybe that's a bit of the situation too. They're showing up here with dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. Oh my gosh, if we were talking about bringing a gentle touch here, this is bring a gentle touch. So they don't have any big, and maybe this might be the dynamic between the two, is that someone here has the same old going on. Well, both of you kind of are. But they don't have like big, good, great news. Maybe they're a little disappointed about some of the progress they're making in their life or something like that. But they are the deer has a very gentle touch, a little bit skittish. So yeah, I would say like they're coming across as a bit of a skittish deer that's a little bit worried and afraid, and something about maybe their life is too mundane, or maybe, and if there isn't anyone here, whoever there is really skittish. Whoever you have your eye on is really skittish. So yeah, just the skittish energy. And if you want into the world, you're going to have to be a little bit quieter and clever and kind of like the non-offer. Oh, I was just gonna drop some soup off, but I'm just in your neighborhood, like, would you mind? And not saying, what do you need me to do, but just, I'm just gonna be out that way anyway, so don't worry about it. Who are you? You are Peacock. Let it shine. Wow, this really looks like they're in sort of the need dynamic, and you're sort of the one that can meet that need. This is they're being in need, or they're feeling skittish, or they're feeling afraid. Just does not affect you whatsoever. Just do not that. I mean, it does affect you in how you need to interact with them, but it's not like. I mean, look at these opposing energies. We have the, and we have the So we have like this really strong, in your face, show off energy, and you're meant to be this way. You're meant to be a little bit of a show off. But not so much that you scare them. Don't be someone different. You're not being asked to do anything different. You're not being asked to do anything different. It's just let your spirit shine. If you have a generous spirit, be the generous spirit, but make sure you do it in a way where this deer can receive it. Because they're a little skittish, so you're going to need to temper that. This looks very Leo to me now. All right, your actions. Treasuring the pace, knowing Treasure Island, so knowing what you value, knowing how valuable someone is to you, or what your values are, and being very clear and upfront about what your values are, not changing who you are. No changing here. And the Hermit card, so making sure, again, I get the Hermit card here in this Peacock spirit as far as like being being who you are completely. And that's the Hermit is heading out away from other influences to figure out who they are. They're going to be by themselves for a little bit, finding out what they value, what they love, what they value, and becoming more and more true to themselves. This is a solo. This is the solo part here. And what they value. I think that you have a unique path here that's only your path. And you need to understand like who you are and what you value. And there's not a sense of rushing here with the Hermit. The Hermit's not in a big hurry to cruise through this whole situation. It's going to take the time it takes. Page of Materials. So this is building something in reality, but at the very beginning, this could be, building something, a vision, and starting to figure out how to make that vision happen. But again, we're going to do slow and steady wins the race here. So that's the overall message. And then part of this has you spending some time alone, figuring out what you really want. And Page of Materials could also be like this other person needing material help as well. It's very physical. So there is a sense of getting your vision together about what you want and what are the things you need to figure out in order to head in that direction. So it's again, the page is the student. It's really baby steps in reality. And then we also have, so what do you value? And then baby steps, laying out some baby steps, 6 of Voices, maybe detaching from the outcome a little bit. There's a sense of moving forward here. It's usually leaving something behind. And when we leave something behind without a vision of where we're going, it's a little more terrifying than when we leave something behind because we see something better up ahead. So what I'm seeing here, though, is assistance, unseen assistance, as you take a leap of faith. And this Treasure Island, too, is about taking what you value with you. You know, this turtle has his home on his back. So, this results of this action, of this knowing what you value and taking baby steps towards it, and in a way detaching from something and having a lot of faith. I'd say faith in the future and faith in the divine to help you. We have touch the sky here. So again, we have the message of baby steps, little baby steps. Message in a bottle. So this touch the sky is about fantasizing about having something in reality, which is what we were getting with the Page of Materials and the Hermit here. And there's like sort of test communications, test run, just dipping a little line in the water here to see what you pull up. And so this is messages, and we're getting sort of test run messages of what would it be like if I did this? How would they respond if I did that? You're not jumping in with both feet. You're just sending out a little missive, a little message here. You're not going to jump in with both feet because we've got a skittish deer. And if we jump in with both feet with a skittish deer, we're going to scare them off. So we're reserving quite a bit of communication here, but we're doing sort of some test communication. We're here. We're still back here, but we're wondering what would it be like? And so here's I think where the phone call or the message comes in, of once you're clear on what you value and what you want to build, there's sort of a message here. And maybe you need help. You need a little bit of assistance in like because you're such a big, bold creature, dear Leo, that maybe you need a little assistance in dealing with a little skittish animal. And it's just, and you're getting that here, slow and steady, and make some test messages. Here we have messages, but we're just going to make them really gentle, really mild, see what happens. Put a little message out there, see what happens. Put a little message out there, see what happens. So, right, a little bit like this like sort of a little bit, see what happens. Get them to the edge, you know, see what happens. It sounds very manipulative, but that's not how I'm seeing it. And then how you can grow from this. Slow and steady wins the race, a great natural progression, and crystal cave trust. And that's what I was getting more from this one. I was like, I don't think you're leaving anything. There's nothing here where you're leaving. There's trust, though. Building trust in powers and energy and safety. that you're safe, and trust in your own intuition. This crystal cave, trusting in your own intuition and really building something in a stepwise fashion. All right, well, Leo, I hope that that was helpful for you. Thanks for joining me here on YouTube. And again, over on Vimeo, we have the more traditional tarot reading about literally, it could be anything. So I'll maybe see you there, or maybe see you back here in a month, I think is what we're doing these days.